Ministry of Food and Agriculture abusuya omonso de omo audit ababontina omo audit no ensem bebre na epie ede afrima enye asam keto akra aha gossip politics tv so unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update bia ye be drop no wonso wonsa ebetumi akabina abusuya Ministry of Food and Agriculture no audit no ensem ben ena ewom na Kevin Taylor aba drop hot details on audit here on the Babonten abusuya 24 million Ghana cedis abusuya sikano amount for the ashe omobotom and during 2024 8 years Akufo-Addo tenure abusuya Ministry of Agriculture na Honorable Bryan Acheampong no na edano na according to Kevin Taylor ose opobia oye kromfo na waha sa ministry na abusuya Bryan Acheampong sa 24 million Ghana cedis no omo na achedi na otra during NPP omo presidential elections na NPP for na de babonten say Bryan Acheampong ohwe enuane ene adeade a wawia no Ministry of Ministry of Agriculture na abusuya enye nuane ketwa allegedly according to Kevin Taylor ono enana eka asem no inti osesa 24 million Ghana cedis no abusuya Bryan Acheampong ni din yabo ni din wo ma ochra osesa Bryan Acheampong no enana eda ministry na no inti 24 million Ghana cedis ni botom ena akwa akoshe abusuya according to Kevin Taylor allegedly Ministry of Food and Agriculture omo auditor omo de ababonten abusuya yensem mrem mom yenko na yenkonko tie ensema Kevin Taylor editudwa edifa unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update be drop no wonso wonsa ebetumi akabi medamase
Mofa Ministry of Food and Agriculture audits tons of rice, maize missing. 2 ghost companies paid 24 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Food and Agriculture aye special audit to be ewo ministry na Bryan Acheampong eja wo ho so opo bi o ye kromfo pa o ha Ghana pa Ministry of Agriculture aye Bryan Acheampong NPP for na be catch the latter days na omanka say be free power anytime omo start your campaign omo be catch say Bryan Acheampong eduane ebro maize fertilizer also come na Ghana for nyina Bryan Acheampong fa ni nyina ye no ha and abanwe Ministry of Food and Agriculture aye special audit Oma behu se eye emo ene ebro eduane tons upon tons eduane eye ebro ni emo dodo be 50,000 containers Oma se sa eduane ni nyina omo ye audit no ni nyina ni pebi afa ama Ghana eboka because omo tia companies bi emoma supply say eduane no yakohwa nkrate mu a Be 24 million Ghana cedis. Companies now supply BBR. Ebro na yehu. Emo na yehu. Obi shebe because Kevin Taylor. Now then Now you see. Now are we supposed to go and arrest everyone and start prosecuting? The Attorney General needs to be tactical here. Because the NPP government needs free power and everything about it is illegal. Now, if you are going to govern and at the same time you want to prosecute, are you going to spend all your time, every single crime there you have to do it? No. Some of the crimes, you need to push them aside, deal with the most important ones, and as time goes on, you deal with those ones. So these ones like this, definitely the Attorney General will deal with it. But you want to tell me, say, sa case way, any chairman want to be case, they're important. Sa case way, any chairman want to me, sa case way, any yawedu buahin case, and they're important. Sa case way, any gift to award case, they're important. Sa case way, any sky train case, they're important. Sa case way, any the other important cases. We need to be very careful how we are like. I don't know, prosecute. Every single case will be prosecuted. And we need all the time to do it. That is why 41 years near important. 24 million. Nipabia Fedi. So with this one too, we need to start investigations. Now the issue is when you start investigations of this, do you have to ignore the first ones you started? No. Now every investigation you start, a resource, a second audition. Now you need to make sure, say, they are what starting. We pay attention and deal with them. Then from there we move to the next stage into a case by case. Now somebody will be say and I buy no into 1 year to me prosecute here. You can mention about 10-15 cases and in our course is going through prosecution. How can you say abiding person be prosecution? How can you say abiding person be jail be? Different from say abiding catch or say yemfa obi anko jina court. But as far as case work court, you cannot sit and say abiding person be jail be. The reason why the government is in court or the attorney general is in court is because he wants to prosecute. Now the attorney general goes to court or can ask them na nipa na ne ho aba asem no so ono so be can ask them. Into the question here is the attorney general the one to make sure it's a judgment? The judge. How the case goes. Into as far as case in work court you cannot sit there and say abai we are disappointed. Abai we person be prosecuted. This government is prosecuting. Every single day when you follow the news, people are going to court and coming. But that does not mean says so be court na yenjeli na asamne nkoso. The case is still being prosecuted. It is about we all understand and say court system is slow. But if you want to say attorney general, this government is not doing everything possible to fight corruption, then you are not being fair to the government. Then you are just being emotional. Then you are not being realistic. The government, as we speak today, from 2025, power, they have been putting people in court, and people are still in court, and the government is still fighting to make sure people are prosecuted. The government is making sure, at the end of the day, they will win the cases. In the original catch, say, oh, winning BB, abandoned person be jail. I'm asking you, on what basis now? When Ukacham say abiding for Obianko Jina quarter and the metawasi. But this government is in court with so many people. The government is in court trying to prosecute people. So you don't have any right to say abide when person be prosecuted. Maybe your pace, how you want people to be jailed, it is not the government you need to blame. You need to blame the court. It is the court that is slowing the cases down. Because attorney general there, anka yema, anka wachini pa bebregum, waje credit, waje samba, obi abodi ding. But as far as it does not have control in the courtroom, you cannot blame the government and say the government does not want to prosecute. If we have any anger, the anger should be geared towards the judiciary. The judiciary is the one that is very slow. The judiciary, them say attorney general is not talking. Then I mean that you are crazy. Attorney general does not want to prosecute. Oh, bottom. Attorney general, government 1% will prosecute. You are crazy. Then you don't know the court system. This is not where I'm going to sit and advise you and say, nyabutre. We all want prosecution. But the issue is that the attorney general is in court. Different from say John Mahama case will be prosecuted. Now, and this is about power. Court. As far as somebody is in court, there's going to be a judgment. Into what mean Tranka said, because the case has not been caught at your pace, because the government is not working, then you are being crazy. Because the case is in court, finality Maya, judge and judge case, Abane is not prosecuted. Then you are being crazy. You need to understand, case or court, it goes through a process. Until we have to ask the court, why is the court delaying? Because the attorney general has done his job. The attorney general also often court. Now the court, does he have control over the case? No. He's also in court like the same person he's prosecuting. So who are we supposed to blame? We need to question the judiciary. Why is the judiciary slow? To me, I will not entertain that conversation. Me metran pa ochanka say, oh, where do you and this about disappoint, and this about disappoint you. And this about some catch a Ghana for say about power. They will prosecute. Now, prosecute does not mean or do be a court or so jail. Court na wo hono enyo papa dia a process na obi akom. Everybody needs to have their day in court. Obi a dey asema to subia no sa nipa no e wo so dey or say nipa no eso enya na asem ka. So you cannot sit there and say Kevin Taylor, the NDC does not want to prosecute. You are being silly. You are not being smart. Because when I original court is here and obi do court and the adeche o say jeliwa obeka say court has not been fair to you because oh papa ya man chance manankasa. Oh, papa, you can go court and I did see a jailina. Oh, because the court has not been fair to your father. Oh, because the Ghana we are being selective. The court is there working. The attorney general, ni Eminyanso, or Betchinko for Gumno, so Yakachan, so why the Juma. Do you think he likes it? No. It's me who journalist meet TV, so I say, attorney general, no, the last time I saw Captain Smart vent. And Captain Smart is talking like he has not been to court before. And my own brother, Captain Smart, sometimes you go overboard because, you need to explain to Ghanaians. You need to talk to Ghanaians. You need to educate Ghana for how court processes work. Nobody has control over the court process. So you can't sit on TV or sit on your show and make it look like, say, Attorney General suitor or record or so in your judgment. It does not work like that. As much as we are all frustrated, you need to educate the public. Okay, in Kofojina court, Nkofo are being prosecuted. This is what happens. The people who are being prosecuted, they have their day in court. They also need to speak. So you don't sit on TV and when I see Captain Smart make so much noise and say, Attorney General, no, he's a criminal, I don't trust him. You're not being fair to your listeners. You are misinforming them. You need to let them understand. Because you, Captain Smart, so you also want to go to court, you want to be heard, you want the process to be fair. So why don't you want people to also go through the fair process? Unless you don't want to be rude to yourself. Unless you don't want to be rude to Ghanaians. Or there's maybe you are using emotions to speak. I respect your job. I respect your credibility. You have worked hard to this point, and a lot of people respect the job you do. But sometimes we need to put our emotions aside and explain to the people. We should put our emotions aside. A court near until they are proven say nobody can sit and say Attorney General does not want to follow the case. When did you hear Attorney General say it's a case where I don't want to follow it? I am yet to hear one person come on TV, one journalist to say Attorney General went to court and said, I don't want to follow this case again. As we speak today, the Attorney General is always in court. The Attorney General is making his case. The lawyers for the defendants are also there. So why do we have to sit here? Now, I want prosecution done. I want people prosecuted. Does it mean I have to come and sit here and attack the Attorney General? Abraham knew how court processes work. Abraham, I know how court processes work. So if I know how court processes work, I cannot be a hypocrite and sit here and say, because I said this before, they have to prosecute, I have to come here and speak against the government, speak against the Attorney General, make it look like, nobody, you Captain Smart, you have been to court before. You know how it works. You know that people have to be given their day in court. So what is this issue of the country, the Attorney General, the government? You are silly. It is our job, it is our responsibility as the media to educate the public. In NDC for a campaign, say they will prosecute. So John Mahama and NDC come more power and come back to Ghana for say when we come, we will bring them to NDC headquarters and jail them. Or say we will prosecute. Prosecutorial process means people have to come to court and also make their defense in front of a judge for a decision to be made. It means the government has less power when it comes to the court because the court is an independent body. They also sit, listen, and make judgments. And if today say and the case was court na the whole case yentina TV so can say and Attorney General on there I don't trust him, he's a criminal. You might not like his style of prosecution, obia with your pen asem. You might not like the way he goes about his case, obia with your pen asem, but you cannot come to that conclusion that the government is corrupt and that this government does not want to prosecute. When you do that, then you are not being fair to yourself and being fair to the people who are listening to you. With all due respect to you, Captain, and sometimes, I see the way you are so passionate about what you are saying, and I think sometimes you let your emotions take over you. The issues are the issues. We making noise on TV and radio will not push the court because the court needs to look at evidence, deduce everything before they make judgment. If Chairman Wontumi was your father, if Chairman Wontumi was your brother, and he was pushed into jail in 24 hours, you would have come to speak. You would have made noise and said the court and the government and the constitution has not been fair to another Ghanaian. So why are we not allowing people to have their day in court? We cannot act as if we say every day is because it's against Chairman Wontumi, it's against Edu Buahin, it's against some people we don't like. Judgment should be today. It doesn't work like that. So with this we are trying to make sure we calibrate the system well. It does not mean people are going to get away with murder. It means the system is going to be rigid, it's going to be solid, it's going to be fluid. At the end of the day, justice will be done. Those who have committed a crime will be forced to serve jail term. That is how you govern. That is how you build a nation. But we don't sit there and scream and scream. Mimi Yama and Kachama want to be them 30 years. But I can't get it like that way because Emra Okronim. Because he has a right to a lawyer, because he needs to go to court and also speak. Into Muamuditi radio sono, Muamuditi TV sono. I know how frustrated you are, but you see, because you don't want people jailed more than the Attorney General. Until we need to sometimes sit back and swallow our emotions a little bit and make the factual statement. Say, okay, because you're creating impression, we say, I didn't know jail. No, case record, you don't determine when the person goes to jail. And you, Captain, you know more than I know. Majority of you people sitting on TV and on radio, you know more than I know. When cases enter court, you don't determine when the case should end. It is the court that determines when the case should end. So what has the Attorney General done? And I'm not saying the Attorney General is doing everything perfect. I wish that the Attorney General would do more than he's doing. But the fact of the case is, Ukodru Kota, the Attorney General does not have control over the case. It is the judiciary, it is the court that determines it. We as journalists, we should know more than this. We should be able to educate. As much as I hate Chema Utumia, where Jimmy no asasino, I will not sit here and say, Yembu the time abra, Sebio, Yemko through the process. No. You get what I mean? As much as say, Minim se Chema Utumia Kromfo, we didn't kwasiasem, Edubu and Yeria Ghana, all the people they have lined up in court, no, they have caused the nation. No, I will not sit here and say because I don't like them. No, for 24 hours from Kukudije, because tomorrow I don't know who is going to be before the court. So we need to stick to the rules. We need to allow the process to work. If we don't have patience for the process to work, then we start to abuse power. Then we start to do the same thing Kufuor did. Then we start to look like the NPP. Nobody likes to see criminals work, but we need to also understand. 9/11 America, no. They have access to lawyers. It should tell you this is a world where people have access to lawyers. They have to make their case. So let's educate the people. Say, a case for quarter, it means they are building up a case to prove at the end of the day, say, into a case for quarter, and the process needs to work. And that is what we journalists, we as people on radio and TV, that is what we need to do. Yemfa emotions in Tunchan Kakra. And I respect the work you people do. You do a lot. Let's put our emotions. Let's listen to the Kwachofosu.
The other issue is this attempt to run down oral. You see, it's surprising that the people who oral is affecting the most are the ones claiming that it's not working. No, I beg you. You see, first of all, again, you see, Alfred, let me put it on record. When we promise oral, nobody in the NDC, including President Mahama, said we're going to use extrajudicial means. We were never going to tie people to the stake and shoot them. We were not. No, listen. Listen. Yeah, but the tribunal is lawful. Tribunal is in the constitution. Indeed, I sat in. Listen. I sat in cabinet. Cabinet approved it. So the tribunals are coming back. They are lawful. It's in the 1992 constitution. Yeah. So if a tribunal is set up and I'm dragged before it, it is lawful activity. What we never said was that we're going to tie people to the... So Kabiru is alleged to have stolen this phone. Then I come and drag him in the middle of the night from side, tie him to a stake and shoot him. Is that what oral is about? No. Oral is about due process. And as I speak to you, there are over 100 former appointees who have been dragged before investigative bodies. Yeah. Some of them are on bail, as I speak to you, including very high-profile personages in the party. Yet they go through all this and then they turn around and come and tell you that oral is doing nothing. And as Martin said, there are 15 people standing trial as I speak. As I speak to you, in some of the cases, the Attorney General has finished making his case. But you see, due process is necessary so that I don't unfairly target Addo because he's NPP. Right. That simply because I don't like him, I fabricate charges against him, drag him to court to waste his time. So the court system is put in place to ensure that the state is not able to do that, and it protects all of us. There will never be a time, for as long as we remain under constitutional governance, that any government can act extrajudicially and young people and punish them because they have been accused. You must go through due process, and that is what we are doing. We have never said that there was any other way to pursue. It is Operation Recover or Loot. How do you recover the loot? You have to be convicted by a court of the crime before you forfeit the property which is believed to have been the process of the crime, or which, if disposed of, can help recover the resources that you are alleged to have stolen. That is what we promise, and that is precisely what we are delivering. Thank you. So
that on our culture, nobody is going to sit here and make you feel say because you are screaming, because you are making noise, people should bend the law. No, the law will never be bent. But you see, the issue here is we need to follow due process. Extrajudiciary, let me tell you something. As much as you want to prosecute people, you need to make sure that you do it within the law. People are casting their minds back. Ekufuado, no, you should talk on no, they didn't kwasiasem, and no one before now to Ekufuado. No. Now, what to Ekufuado because you didn't want that to happen to you. You didn't want anybody to abuse the law. You didn't want people to use their positions to intimidate other people. So you voted against Bawumia Ekufuado because Omo Jimmy, they were intimidating people with the law. Now you want everything to be done right. Now you and I know, say, Aman Fabo Chrono. So should we use the Ekufuado tactics, or you, the voting, you vote now, say we should reset the system and make sure, say, even though people have committed a crime, we need to stick within the law to make sure the law applies. Which one are you going to go for? Then it means Abana Oto, maybe I want to ask you. Because if you decide to use the Akufo-Addo tactics, then it will not be different from what you wanted to avoid. Then this government will not be different from the screaming we're screaming. This government didn't come to power because it wanted to take revenge. It did not come to power because it has put some people down to kill them. It came to power to strengthen the law, for the law to deal with people who have committed crimes against the state. If you want to strengthen the law, make sure the right things are done. You are doing it to make sure that anybody who has committed a crime will go through the process, and that when that person is found guilty, nobody can sit on a wall and say somebody was intimidated. The law was bent to favor somebody. So that is what this government is doing. Abanwe is strategizing and strengthening the law again, putting the country where you want it to be on the right track. Send your will be court near one far. NPP ni where they are ye. We don't want to practice the Kofo kind of government where or bad jail. Does not work like that. As much as we want people jailed, we need to calibrate, make the system right. Nobody can sit and scream and say Yatata will be papa. Yatata will be mame. And that is what we are doing. And that is what this government is doing. So it's not about how you feel and your emotions. Because anka opede na Akufo-Addo ye, de na tokonu ye, de na wede court ne ya, anka 120 ya Akufo-Addo. You voted against the Akufo-Addo because you didn't want to find yourself in that place for Tokonu and the judiciary and the Akufo-Addo to sell your mom, jail your dad, jail you in a way that wasn't right or isn't right. That is why you made that decision. In the sense that what to aba say yantinit in a mino, na a mino angel baby jina and chest will be able chrono obedante and chest will be a rear obeko. It means the system should be perfect to protect you, protect me, and even protect people we think now who have not been confirmed to say Omia Kromfo, protect them. Because when people are accused of a crime, until the court says away, you cannot say Sanipo Kromfo. So every single person in court
is a suspect. Our political highway. So Kevin Taylor and I attending Kase Odessa and Semino Tuja Ediamaya and ye easy. But I must say, some of Japan Cocotiza and some way Edimai. Aha, a gossip politics TV. So unsubscribe, be a subscribing a hit on the notification bell. Send any updates be a dropping on so once a bit to me aka. Bedamase.